When I moved to the United States from Europe 25 years ago, the first cultural adjustment I faced was encountering America's racial reality from the inside rather than as an abstraction. In much of Europe at the time, assumptions about African Americans' inferiority, always implicit, sometimes explicit, still circulated with no challenge. In the US, I discovered that such views were not merely offensive, but fundamentally incompatible with the country's moral and cultural boundaries. That contrast inspired me to read Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. Ellison's novel did not present African American experience as a sociological problem to be solved or grievance to be catalogued. Instead, it revealed identity as something more elusive and more demanding, something formed through contradiction, illusion, performance, and painful self-knowledge. What struck me most was how Ellison framed invisibility not as erasure alone, but as a condition imposed by others' projections, by a society that refuses to see what does not fit its expectations. In that sense, invisibility becomes a test of consciousness rather than a display of weakness. Coming from Europe, where racial questions weren't yet a reality, Invisible Man felt like an introduction into an American mode of self-examination. Ellison's protagonist moves through institutions that promise uplift, education, work, politics, only to discover how easily ideals turn into mechanisms of control. Yet the novel never collapses into despair. Ellison insists that fiction can tell the truth while telling a lie, using art to illuminate realities that statistics and slogans cannot. Ellison's refusal to reduce experience to victimhood is unforgettable. The novel's final assertion that identity must be claimed rather than granted felt deceptively obsolete in modern society. In reality, it is the most American theory. While trying to understand Invisible Man, I was also discovering how the United States understands itself, not as a finished project, but as a continuous struggle to see, to name, and to recognize one another. For a newcomer, that was still vague and confusing, but it remains one of the most honest introductions to American culture.